Well, hello. Good morning to you all. I am Recie Myers, better known as Recie by many of my friends. And I am here this Wednesday morning. Good morning to you all. This morning here where I am on the East Coast. It might be afternoon or evening where you are. But wherever you are, good morning. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Good morning, Jennifer. Thank you. And tell me where you're tuning in from, Jennifer. And Michael, good morning to you. Good morning, Trisha. Good morning to you. I am talking to spiritual entrepreneurs, people who know that, I always say, who are destined for more. They have the greatness inside. We all have it, but they're willing to discover it, to shape it, mold it, develop it, to be more than they are. And to be able to affect and impact in a positive way the lives of other people. Good morning, Sips. Good morning to you. So yesterday I started talking about the skills that we all should be working on developing within ourselves to become better people, to be the best version of ourselves. Good morning, Frederick. Good morning to you. I can wave to you. And I started talking about self-discipline and the things that you want in life. You have to put it into your life, put it into practice. You have to put those maybe health principles, start acting on it to be able to have the best health that you can possibly have. But there's so much to self-discipline. And of course, I didn't do everything in once. So I'm kind of continuing to talk about discipline or self-discipline. Sometimes there are outside forces, external forces at work, or personal experiences that we've had that prevent us from moving forward in being able to achieve our goals. And some of those things or those external experiences might be fear of failure. When you want to do something so badly, and maybe you haven't even tried to do it, and you put everything you had into it, but you still failed. Some people, that pain was so intense, they don't want to go there again. They don't want to face that fear, the possibility of failing. But you know what? There's a possibility that you may succeed. I know for me, in 2016, I think I mentioned before, that was a horrible year for me. And there was something, I was dealing with several things that I had no control over. One, I was trying to get my mom to come and live with me, but it was things weren't going the way I had hoped, and I had done as the best that I could to try to bring her to the point where I had to go in litigation, go to court, and all that to get guardianship, but things didn't work out. And that disappointment, I know what it's like. It could be so intense that it takes everything out of you so that you have no desire, no will to do anything, So I totally understand that. There may also be lack of self-confidence. You know you need to do something, but I don't want to try it again. I don't think I'm strong enough to do it. And you have these self-doubt questions about yourself. And then you say, oh, you know what? I'm not going to do anything. So it's real. I know. I've been there. Or you might not want to take on the responsibility, the personal responsibility of doing what you know you need to do. And then sometimes we wait until maybe a crisis is there to make us act. You have to kind of like hit rock bottom. Where do I go from here? And one quote that Les Brown says, if you're going to fall on your back, because when you fall on your back, you can look up, because that's where your help comes from. God will give you whatever it is that you need to push through or to start again or to get back up. So events in our lives can inspire us to act, or circumstances and desperation can also force us to act. And then if you don't have the courage, if you are not doing what you need to do, sometimes life will put you in a position where you have no choice but to act. And so being able to push forward To be self-disciplined, it requires a decision. Even thinking to yourself, well, I'm going to decide not to make a decision. That's still a decision. But hopefully you will decide, hey, you know, what else can I do? You just have to push forward. And now the thing is with self-discipline, we all have that specialness I talk about. God gave it to each one of us, every single one of us. We have it inside. And it's a shame that some people go through their entire lives never knowing what their special talent, what their special gift, what that specialness is about themselves. And that's a shame. God has given it to us. It's our responsibility to seek it out, find what it is, and develop it. It doesn't mean you have to develop every single thing. So focus on that one thing that you are really good at, that you feel confident about. And you work on that. It's not something that's going to be like a month or even a day, a week. It may take years to really develop that gift, that craft, that talent that you have within yourself. So it's your responsibility, it's my responsibility to keep working at it, to grow and develop. Now, when you make that decision about moving forward, pushing through, it may cost you. It may cost you in terms of relationships that you have, maybe with your spouse, maybe with your children, maybe with your family, or even with your friends. Like I said, I was listening to Les, and he talked about one of his good friends who he knew was very gifted and talented in this particular area, who had done some work for him. And you might know some people like that. I know people like that. They're just so brilliant. But the work that the person had done for him was below par. It was not standard on what he knew he was capable of. And he could have just ignored it. But he said, I know my friend, he can do better. So he approached him about it and was trying to be as tactful as he could in telling him, you and I need to go back in the studio and redo this. And his friend took offense. It wasn't done out of meanness. He was, making an observation and knew, and his friend knew he was right. But his friend said, you know what, don't ever talk to me again. And he says it cost him sleepless nights, because he said, look, we've been friends for so many years. And, I don't want this event or this incident to affect their relationship. So he approached him a second time. I think he called him this time and said, look, can we get this? We can't let this thing just, get between us. And his friend said, don't ever call me again, and slammed the phone down. So that cost the relationship. And even in what you need to do, it can cost pain, because you're going to have to confront them about something. And maybe not, it doesn't have to be a confrontation, but you never know how the other person is going to receive it. He talked about one of his family members living in the household, a house that he bought for his mother. And this family member was in there doing things and not respecting the home or whatever. And the mother needed to say, look, you need to go. But because it was her child, she didn't want to do it. She said, hey, you do it. So sometimes what we know we need to do, we want to pass that off to somebody else. Have them take that responsibility when we know it's ours. So, self-discipline, it covers so many areas. But he says, in order to move forward in life, whatever that thing is you need to do, that you're afraid of or not sure how it's going to be received, it can cause losses in relationship, money, or whatever, kind of detach yourself from it. Take it, look at it, examine it, and ask yourself some questions. He said, ask yourself, well, what first is blocking you? So you know what that thing is that's blocking you, stopping you from moving forward. What are you going to do about it? What's the worst that can happen if I should address it? What's the worst that can happen? You see it happening in your mind. Now, can you live with that? Is that going to hinder you or stop you from breathing? And if it's something that you need to do, just go ahead and do it. And accept the consequences, because you kind of know ahead of time what's the worst that can possibly happen, and it may happen, but there's some things, we must do because we have a backbone, and you have to have a backbone. You have to stand for something. You need to have to stand for standards, principles, and if even though you don't want to do it, it's part of growth, because we cannot just accept mediocrity, So yeah, those are some hard things to deal with, because in life there are lots of things obstacles that's going to try to keep you from moving forward, and it's all part of growing, knowing how to talk to people. You're not coming across with a hammer. You're trying to knock them out. No. And some people, like, he said something to me, I'm going to say this, or I'm going to get the head rolling and have that attitude and all that. No, life is not about having the attitude. You really examine whatever it is that you need to do, because it's you. It's your life that you have to live. You can't live somebody else's life. Anyway, so self-discipline, like I said, it covers a wide variety of areas. And as we move forward on our journey in life, we have to be able to do certain things, be able to reach and achieve that goal. So I wanted to just let you know that in the description, I do have a link to a group that I have started. It's called Spiritual Entrepreneur Goal Achievers. I used to have it as Goal Crushers, but that's kind of like giving us a mixed signal, saying we're crushing it, killing it, those words, and I got that from my mentor. It tends to have negative connotations. So I changed it to Spiritual Entrepreneur Goal Achievers. Good morning, Ursula. Good morning to you. Roland is here, but he wasn't ready on time. And, me, punctuality. Anyway, Ursula says, expect the best, prepare for the worst. Nice and concise. I like that. Today is also Wednesday. Today is Wednesday weekly webinar. And for those of you who are new entrepreneurs, and even if you're not new, tonight there's going to be a webinar on how you can move forward in your business, everything you need to know. And you have opportunities to ask questions and all that, but you have to register. This is a free webinar. Click on the link, go ahead and register, because this is a way that you can glean information that can help you on your journey. So I thank you for joining me. By the way, if I've said anything that resonates with you, like I said, chances are someone else might benefit from it as well. So we want to be able to achieve our goals, keep moving forward, do the things that you need to do, focus on developing that specialness, that gift, that talent, instead of trying to do all of them, just focus on that one. And that gift, that talent that's developed can serve you well. All right. So I thank you for joining me. I will see you again tomorrow morning. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Thursday. Hopefully Roland will be able to join me. And enjoy your day. Make it positive. Make it impactful. And I'll see you tomorrow. I have an entertainer. Bye now.